Hey, it's the Fatboy Show on RX Radio, and throughout most of the morning we've been talking about how dangerous the month of May has been, the spate of killings that have been going on, the shootings, and as if to further reinforce our fears, the UPDF has deployed additional troops in the Karamoja sub-region. The 3rd Division is going to be increasing their troop deployments there in the Karamoja sub-region. And why might this be? Well, according to the UPDF, the 501 Infantry Brigade under the command of Colonel Benard Kashemeza is headquartered in Abuku, Abim district, whereas the 81 Infantry Battalion commanded by Maj Stephen Omonyi, which previously operated in Abim, was readjusted to cover Agago district. And so the deployed brigade was received and oriented by Col Wilberforce Karate Sserunkuma. It's called karate. So why all this deployment? They're saying that based on the security situation and assessment, we have tactically deployed and readjusted troops for peace to prevail. Now, this is where people like Joseph Kabuleta would say, I don't believe that. Now, you've interviewed him several times, and we've had him on the show, where he's claimed that the government is engaged in a protracted process of displacement of the people of Karamoja, perhaps so that they can move in, or the people they are representing can move in and exploit some of the mineral deposits, the natural resources, and other things there in Karamoja. So I'm sure that's what he would be saying is the reason for all these deployments. But what do you say? Are you convinced by this claim of the need for more security?
Honestly, I don't know. There is a time I had the same conversation with Sarah. You know, Sarah is from the north, and she was saying that according to some people from that side, they don't believe that this is actually aimed at protecting them. They say that all these battalions that are sent back to their areas apparently to protect them are the same ones that are arresting young men in the area in huge numbers and taking them to prisons outside of the region. And then you remember, if you take a region's young men or the men thereof, then the women are left to their own devices, and the women can't protect themselves. So when you come back to chase the women off the land, it's very easy. You'll just take whatever you want to take. And I saw a video from it was a video of people from that side. I don't know who captured it. It was a video on social media where they were saying that they are tired of the army in the area because they kill them at night, take their cows, and then during the day they have nowhere to stay because their lands are taken. Obviously, someone has to go on ground and confirm all these allegations.
Well, previously the security situation in the district was characterized by isolated incidents of murder, cattle thefts, arson, and kidnappings by some criminal elements. Meanwhile, the area of Abim in which these deployments have happened is known to be a non-raiding community. So does that mean that the Abim people themselves aren't engaged in cattle raiding?
They are not engaged, but the claim is that they are being raided by other warriors, the Karamojong warriors, or those other warriors that cross over from Kenya to Uganda.
So these brigades are there to protect the Abim people?
To protect the Abim people. That's what is said, but it's a whole other conversation, because I don't know, you remember that a conversation we had about the youths from the region that were released from prison and they were malnourished? And then later on, I think a few weeks ago, I saw still a huge number of young men from the same region arrested. Apparently, they were rustlers or raiders. And the leaders, the local leaders in the area, when interviewed by news media, they are saying, these are young men. They are okay. They are not criminals. What's going on here?
Well, so where do you see the situation leading from here? Do you think they're going to, to what extent can they increase the troop number? And if some of the conspiracies that are being proposed by the likes of Kabuleta have any meat to it, what might the end result be? A Karamoja region devoid of actual Karamojong?
That could be true. Ask yourself this. Why is it that we have more and more street children from the region on the Kampala streets? Those people don't walk to Kampala. Those people do not fly to Kampala. So those people are brought
by who?
To Kampala. Even KCCA has said this. They said they have tried to rehabilitate them. They take them, after rehabilitation, they take them back to their home districts. And in just a few weeks, they have like triple the number they took off the streets. Who brings those people to Kampala and why? Because if you want a region known to grow, if you want a region known to have young men to fight for it and develop it, what are you going to do? Make sure that even the young children born there don't grow up there.
Come on.
Seriously.
So like you ferry the kids.
Give me a better explanation.
So
why is it that in this country children on the streets are from the same region?
Because
is it the poorest?
Yes, it is. It is.
Basoga is very poor. Why don't we see Basoga kids on Kampala's streets?
But I believe Karamoja is the poorest region.
But do you
the
agree
least
that
developed region of the country?
Yes, but do you agree that those children are actually ferried to Kampala?
I don't know about that.
Because I've even seen what is that, the investigative piece on NBS, where actually these children were discovered being brought to Kampala in the dead of night. And if you talk to anyone from that region...
By who?
People that gain from them. Do you know that...
Maybe human traffickers?
It is human trafficking, but you will find that the people behind the human trafficking are people you would never believe are in this business.
Well, maybe that's where we need to end the conversation. We don't want to wade into dangerous waters.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Hey.
This is Uganda after all.
This is Uganda. Hey.
But you can let us know what you think. What do you think is going on in the Karamoja region? All these deployments. Do you think things are as they seem, or is there a different agenda at play here? Or is all this speculation unwarranted, and in fact the good men and women of the UPDF are there to protect the innocent people of Abim and other communities in the Karamoja region from raiding and rustling and kidnapping and murder? What's your thought on that? Keep listening to The Fatboy Show on RX Radio.